Happy Tuesday. It is Toolkit Tuesday, and the heart behind Toolkit Tuesday comes because many of us spend our days on autopilot. And things like the Redefining Healthy Initiative is a 6-week group course to give you the tools you need so you can start living a more mindful, meaningful life. And I come on Tuesdays and share some of those tools that I use both in the group coaching and in my individual coaching and in my own life. One thing that I want to say is, if you have noticed, I'm interweaving some messages that I feel that belong everywhere else in the world, maybe speaking a little bit subliminally, then you're probably right. The diet culture is a tough one for me because it's not a broken system. It's a system that is working exactly how it was intended to work. If it were going to be sustainable, if it were going to work, right, then there would not be an industry anymore. So keep that in mind. And the thing with our food beliefs and our food rules and our food guidelines, even when we're not actively dieting, even when you're not actively on a diet, the decisions and choices that you're making are driven by not only the last diet that you were on, but the 10 before, or the 20 before, or that thing that you saw in an article, or that thing that you saw on TV, or that thing that you saw that person, the character on the show doing, right? That's a lot of shit behind your decision making that you're not even aware of. It's working on autopilot, right? This whole idea of being on the wagon or off the wagon, or on track or off track. It's a driving cycle into going on these loopholes. It's something that keeps you going, right? This is simply your life. Your diet is made up of anything that you eat. If you eat 2 packs of Oreos every single day and that's the only thing that you eat, then that's your diet, right? In the Redefining Healthy Initiative, in my work that I do, the words that we use and their meaning are very important. So checking yourself, like, what am I meaning by this? Or what am I thinking that's driving my choices? And the thing that happens is deeply ingrained beliefs do not change just because you introduce a new belief, right? Just because you introduce an opposing idea. These are deeply ingrained beliefs. Being able to distinguish between beliefs and facts is going to be an essential step in learning, in relearning, or learning to begin with, to change our beliefs and therefore our experience. So again, some of these food rules, some of these food guidelines, some of these things, and yes, I'm also speaking subliminally about everything else. These deeply ingrained beliefs will not go away, will not just become dislodged from your brain because an opposing idea has been introduced. We have to start really being mindful of the decisions that we're making, why we're making them, the words that we're using, and their meaning, right? This is how we will dislodge these old belief systems, as opposed to staying on the same cycle and the same trajectory to then have to add more diets and more food rules and more guidelines, right? So enabling ourselves to start looking at things differently, we have to unlearn and relearn and really break down these ingrained beliefs. And we have to start distinguishing fact, right? Fact from belief. And that has a lot to do with labels. So one activity that we do in the Redefining Healthy Initiative is we call them out. And what I mean by that is, the activity we have is set a timer for 15 or 20 minutes and get out some paper, right? And we write down as many beliefs, food rules, language, thought patterns, anything that we come up with surrounding food and diet, right? And it's a great exercise because I promise you, even if you are actively not dieting, even if you believe that you don't have a diet mentality, right? Once you do this practice, that paper starts filling up with so many, not only different things and different rules and different guidelines, but literally opposing ideas and concepts. And the one thing that I want to point out is if you look right now at our country, right, the two biggest diets right now are keto and plant-based. If that doesn't make you sit down and be like, these are literally in direct opposition of each other. Both boasting that they are the only way, both boasting that everyone should be eating this way, right? These things are ingrained in us. The diet that our mother was on when we were in elementary school, all of the different things, right, are making up all of these different components, and they are driving and deciding and changing how we're engaging with our lives, even when we're not meaning to. So take the time and call them out. Set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes, sit down, start that timer, and write down as many things that come up for you. Like anything that you think or believe about food or your body, or how your food likes, or how your body needs food, or how much, or all of the different rules, all the different beliefs, all the different guidelines. Think of all of the different diets you've ever been on. This is not just a one-time practice, because as you start to grow awareness, as you start to become more mindful, you will be shocked by what comes up in your day-to-day life and what your active thoughts are thinking and saying to you without you ever being truly mindful of them. We're living on autopilot, so it's just like, oh, it's this constant reel. When you pause and you deconstruct these beliefs and you do the work, right? You do the work to start to separate fact from belief. Then we see magic. Then we start to see these changes. Then we start to see these deeply ingrained beliefs start to release themselves. So set your timer, get really curious, and call them out. I would really love to hear what you come up with. If you take a picture of your pages, or if you're like, oh my gosh, I did not realize what all was in there. I would love to hear about it. It's not like a please don't hesitate. It's like a please send them to me. I want to hear about it. And we are starting a new round of the Redefining Healthy Initiative June 28th, and we would love to have you. The next couple of groups they will always have access. Once you are in the group, you will always have access to the group. So it's not like a 6 weeks, you're in, you're out, you're done, or that the expectation is that you finish every single activity or that you're held accountable. We're here to support you. And we also have a private Facebook group where we're staying in contact, and people from previous groups and people in the current groups are getting to kind of engage with each other and talk about how these different activities are carrying them through and carrying over into different parts of their lives. So we would love to have you join the next round, June 28th. I will be back on Sunday for Storytime Sunday, and it's going to be a good one. So I'll see you all soon and hope to hear from you even sooner.